following footage you are about to see is raw, unscripted footage of a paranormal investigation of an alleged haunted location by the Southern Indiana ghost hunters. Any evidence, if any, that is found within this footage is the interpretation of the Southern Indiana ghost hunters, but may not be the only explainable reason for such evidence. It's up to the viewer to decide. Here we are at the old Talbott Tavern, built in 1779. And here we are at the old Talbott Inn, place where we'll be staying this evening. It's a little noisy out here today. A lot of people are here. It's a Tuesday. So we're going to see what we can capture. And it's right straight across from the Talbott Tavern. It's reported to be just as haunted as the tavern. Hello, this is Michael Flickner of the Southern Indiana Ghost Hunters. We are up here in our room at the Talbott Inn, which is also part of the tavern. We're going to do a little bit of investigation here this evening. I brought some equipment that we're going to set up in the room. I brought my recorder for one. Yes, we're going to record for about 3 or 4 hours and see if we capture anything. I will say that this inn is pretty loud because we have neighbors that like to party outside the door, and hopefully they'll stop that before I start setting off equipment and stuff. We also brought up a couple of these, our outdoor cams. We're going to set them up in the room, and hopefully if anything happens, we'll be able to capture it on net. They're pretty neat in how they work and everything. So, anyway, we'll let you know how it goes. Stay tuned with us. Thank you for plugging in with us and keeping up with us on our excerpts. Thank you. We'll see you. Bye. Pioneer Cemetery, located behind the Talbott Tavern in Bardstown, Kentucky, is one of the oldest cemeteries in the area. In 2005, Cy did an investigation there at the cemetery, and we was just taking pictures, but we noticed a lot of energy spikes on our EMF meters. And every time we get an energy spike, the pictures would turn blurry. We took one picture that was close to a bundle of headstones, and the first part of the picture was clear, but then the second part of it was blurry. And on closer investigation, we noticed that there was a figure that was in the blur that was standing there. I'm going to show you pictures of what we took, and you make up your mind what you think. I outlined the figure, so here it comes. While we were staying at the Talbott Tavern Inn this time around, we decided to go back and check out the old Pioneer Cemetery again. However, just like before, we had problems with our photos, and the cameras that I took back there to film with, the film was all jumpy. It could not be used, could not be figured out why this was going on. So just another odd thing that happened this time around at the Talbott Tavern area. Well, we made it back from Bardstown, Kentucky, our little visit up to the Talbott Inn. It's an interesting place to visit. We had a few things happen to us while we were up there, and on our trail cams we caught a few things that I want you to check out. We couldn't explain what they were. I took an EVP recorder up there with me, and I had it recording through the night, but any noises that happened, I guess they weren't loud enough to be audible, so I didn't really capture any EVP. But we heard some things during the night. We heard footsteps out in the hallway. We heard the door knob jiggle a couple of times as if somebody's trying to enter the room. So it was pretty interesting evening. So we're going to show you all that. Plus, at the end of this video, we got part of our investigation we did years back at the jailhouse that's up here. It's right across the street from the Talbott Inn. So check that out. Let me know what you think at the end. Leave a comment down below. Like us and subscribe. Here we go.
Bardstown is the second oldest city in Kentucky. It was named after the Bard brothers, David, who owned the land, and William, who surveyed and platted the town. The first European Americans settled in Bardstown in 1780. The Talbott Inn, built in 1779, in the center of town, welcomed the settlers as well as many historical figures like Daniel Boone, Abraham Lincoln, and Jesse James, and still welcomes residents and visitors to this day. The beautiful and historic town boasts over 100 buildings built before the Civil War, a grand courthouse built in the center of the town square, and is designated as a National Historic District. The Jim Beam, Heaven Hill, Barton 1792, and the Maker's Mark distilleries operate in and around Bardstown, giving it the name the bourbon capital of the world. It is home to Federal Hill, or My Old Kentucky Home, the farm and mansion owned by U.S. Senator John Rowan in the late 1700s, said to have inspired Stephen Foster's ballad, My Old Kentucky Home, now the Kentucky State Song. St. Joseph's Basilica, the first Catholic church west of the Allegheny Mountains, built from 1816 to 1819. A pioneer cemetery dating back to 1789, with 2 Revolutionary War soldiers buried on its property, and where the steamboat inventor, John Fitch, was buried until 1927, when his remains were moved to a memorial on the town square. Today it is home to the 4th largest Civil War museum in the country, the Oscar Getz Museum of Whiskey, the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, and is a destination on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. Bardstown is also home to the Old Jailers Inn, whose property was in operation as the Nelson County Jail from 1797 until 1987. The front part of the building, now used as a bed and breakfast, was built in 1819 and housed 8 cells and a dungeon upstairs where inmates were shackled to the floor. The building had no staircase and only 1 window on the 2nd floor. The inmates were hauled up by a ladder, which was then removed and locked in a closet. The back part of the building was added on in 1874, at which time the entire front of the building was renovated into the jailer's residence. It was built of 30-inch thick limestone bricks with a 10-foot high stone-walled courtyard. The top of the walls were never lined with wire, as inmates were never allowed outside during their stay no matter how long it may have been. The gallows was located in the courtyard where approximately 20 public hangings were carried out, the last being in 1926. However, there were many lynchings by vigilantes done from a tree on the property. Historical records report 5 bodies to be buried in the courtyard. However, the exact locations and identities remain unknown. Just a few feet from the courtyard wall behind the jail is the old Pioneer Cemetery, and right across the alley is the Talbott Inn. With its amazing history and original buildings, this area seems to be saturated in paranormal activity. Reports of unexplainable things on the property have been made for many, many years, and it is said to be haunted by a gentleman by the name of Martin Hill, who murdered his wife and was incarcerated in the jail. While awaiting his hanging, Martin became very ill with a fever and was said to have suffered great pain and misery for weeks before dying. His screams and moans of agony are still said to be heard to this day. Today, the front of the building is used as a bed and breakfast with 7 rooms. Guests now retire in what once must have been a truly miserable and horrible place to be. The back part of the building still houses the old jail and offers tours and paranormal investigations. On December 15th of 2017, Cy had the pleasure to stay at this historical bed and breakfast, and we did our time in the Nelson County Jail. There is an energy on the property and in the building that is hard to miss, and we did have experiences that could not be explained. Is the old jailer's inn haunted? We'll let you decide. Here's a little of what we experienced during our incarceration in the Nelson County Jail.
Good evening, everyone. This is Mike, Barb, and Debbie with the Southern Indiana Ghost Hunters. We're here at the old Nelson County Jail, also known as the Jailer's Inn in Bardstown, Kentucky. This jail was built back in 1784 and was in use all the way up to 87, excuse me, 89.
We'll get it.
I'll remember it in a bit. We're going to do a spirit box session here in one of the old jail cells and see what we can bring forward. If there's any presence here that like to make itself be known, can you please do so now? And then making a noise, moving an object, stating your name, or can you touch one of us? Can you say that again?
That was a kind of creepy voice.
Well, I didn't say hours.
Did you say you were here? If you can see us in this room, you'll see that there's a blue light on the top bunk. If you were to speak into that blue light, we may be able to hear you. There's also a box with an antenna on it. If you were to walk up to that box, you may be able to make the lights flash on that box. Does that sound like something you'd like to do?
Oh, there we go.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, if you walk closer to that box and touch it, you can make the light stay on. And you can talk to us through that too. If you want to flash the light once for yes, twice for no, and 3 times for maybe.
Twice.
That was no.
There we go.
There we go.
Whoa,
Thank you.
awesome.
If you step closer, you can make the siren go off.
There you
Thank
go. Good job.
This doesn't good.
Cool. If you can take a step back, the siren will stop, but the light will stay on. If If you can hear me, can you try that? Please? Thank you.
Thank you.
Who might we be speaking with this evening? Would you tell me your name, please? Were you an inmate here at the jail? You say it one more time. If you were an inmate here, what year was that? Or are you still an inmate here? You're here. Are you always here? Is that yes? If that's yes, can you take a step back?
Thank you. Are you here alone? Are there others here with you? Are you up for some company tonight? Thank you.
Thank you. Cool. Can you take a step back so we can talk to you, fella? Please?
Thank you. Probably don't get too many visitors, do you?
That's really cool of you.
Can you tell us how many inmates are in this cell right now? Who's Paul?
Paul?
Paul. Are you Paul?
Is there a Paul in here?
Do you know what year it is now? If I was to open some of these other doors, I hear that you dropped the tone down on the box. If I was to open some of these doors, would you be able to leave at will? Hello?
Are you still here with us?
Is that yes?
Thank you, we appreciate it.
Yeah. If that's yes, can you step back so we'll know? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Want to try it again? I'd like you to speak into the blue light. Thank Thank you. Is there anybody else here that'd like to come forward and speak with us? Spend the evening with us.
We're gonna be here all evening. Is that gonna be okay?
Thank you for visiting with us today. I appreciate you coming back to our channel, and hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you next time on the Story of Si.